You guys had a good time today? Yeah, that's good. So, who here has heard of Startup Weekend? A few. So before I tell you about Startup Weekend, just to give you a little blurb on Boast, we do R&D tax credit consulting. We're a firm based in Silicon Valley, where I live, Calgary, and Vancouver. We also do early stage investing in startups in Canada and send them to Silicon Valley for 3 months for mentorship and so on and so forth. So we do a lot of work with Startup Weekend and the Kauffman Foundation. Startup Weekend is probably the largest network of entrepreneurs. It's an intersection of engineering, design, and business students who come together over 3 days to pitch an idea, build a team, validate the market, launch a startup, and pitch to investors, all that in 3 days. And once a month, I travel to a different community to host a Startup Weekend. So last weekend was a lot of fun because I was in Vegas, and they have a great community. Vegas is dumping about $350 million into the tech community because they want to build another ecosystem other than gambling. And then next month, I'm doing one with SAP. Recently, we held a Startup Weekend here in Calgary, which created 11 new startups, which is great. We had a lot of students from UFC, from MRU, and ACAD, beautiful designs. We also had a lot of people from the community. And we're hosting another one in July, from July 12th to 14th, and it's an energy/enterprise data-themed Startup Weekend, and we have 3 venture capitalists coming up from the United States, and prizes include top 2 winning teams will get an opportunity for $25,000 each and 3 months of mentorship in the Valley. So it's a great way. Startup Weekend has created over 100,000 entrepreneurs since its inception and over 6,000 startups around the world. And we recently, like I said, held the Startup Weekend in Calgary, and I wanted to introduce to you the man, the myth, the legend, Jacob Topping.
Thanks, Lloyd Lobo from Boast Capital, for the positive and warm reception and the welcome. I'm here to tell you that within a weekend, you can go from not knowing too much about what you're about to enter to building and starting up a tremendous company with tremendous value and bringing people together and meeting tons of new people through a Startup Weekend. So imagine a room of 50 to 100 people eager to participate in something amazing. And within 54 hours, they'll vote on the best ideas, build teams with people they've never met, and build a business and compete for top prizes. That's what the Startup Weekend's all about, and that's what we did this past February. This is the very situation where Rana and I met. We found ourselves in the situation. We put together an idea, and it was voted quite highly. So we formed a team along with Steven, who can't make it. He's in Vegas right now, working on some of the project. And so before we get into the scope of big data and how this business can use big data, I'd like to introduce you to our marketing director, Rana Varma, who is going to give you a brief demo of the kind of excitement that WeScored can deliver. Rana Varma.
Thank you, Jacob. So Jacob and I met at Startup Weekend in February, and prior to my attendance at the event, I didn't know Jacob, nor did I know Steven. But after the 3 days of working together on a project, we were able to come up with a concept, validate it, and create a minimum viable product within 72 hours. We pitched the product, and we came out, I think, with the most exciting pitch at the end of the weekend, and everyone voted for us, and it was great. And I just want to highlight that when you combine innovation with like-minded people, anything is possible. And that's true to Startup Weekend and that video we just saw. It's the same concept. You bring everyone together, everyone's on the same page, and you're creating and you're innovating. And I think that's really important to highlight because entrepreneurship is really, fundamental to having a strong economy in Canada, and I think more people should do it. So with that being said, I'll do a quick demo of WeScored, which is the product that we actually came up with. It's an iPhone application. But before I get started, I want to know how many people in this room are sports fans? Hands up, hands up. So we got a good crowd. Now, what I want to say is Okay, let's picture an imaginary situation. Let's imagine the Calgary Flames are in the playoffs, because that's not going to happen anytime soon. But imagine they're in the playoffs, and the question is how do you participate in the game if you're not by the TV and you're not at the stadium watching it? So we at WeScored developed this application that essentially captures a great moment. On a side note, how many people saw Air Canada Centre outside, like when Toronto and the Boston Bruins were playing a couple days ago? There was 20,000 people out there. And when they scored, you could hear this huge energy burst of happiness. That is exactly what we've captured and delivered it on mobile. So, Jacob, are we good?
We were good. Well, we're not good now, so go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay, so we've essentially created an app called WeScored. I was going to show you a few snapshots, but we can work without it for now. So ultimately what you do, the application is not launched right now, but we will be launching it hopefully within a week. It'll be on the App Store. But essentially what you do is you go into the application, you select your favorite team, you follow it. So if you're like NHL, Premier League Soccer, NFL, MLB, whatever, you can follow it. And essentially what the app does is it links in real time, it syncs what's going on in the actual game. So when your team scores, your actual phone will go off and you'll recreate the sound that it makes at the stadium. So whether it's the goal horn or the actual chant that you hear in some soccer stadiums. Now we can do a quick demo here. So, okay, before we get into the experience, because you guys are gonna love this. What I found also was working with people I didn't know, I developed a strong friendship. And I heard this quote from somebody, I'm not sure who actually said it. Maybe it was one of the Rockefellers. They said, it's better to develop a friendship out of business than to start a business with a friend. And I've been on both sides of that coin before. I've started a business with a friend, and you go through so many ups and downs and roller coasters because you're not only working with them on a personal side, you're working on them on a more of a business side as well. So a lot of things can get misconstrued. Whereas if you form a friendship from a business, it's a totally different dynamic. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it, but what happens at Startup Weekend is that you not only form strong businesses first, those businesses then take into stronger friendships. So from myself meeting Jacob at the event and Steven, not knowing them at all, now we're really good friends. So that's one of the other things I wanted to highlight. Now, Jacob, are we ready to go? So here we go. So initially what you want to do is you go into the application, and so that's our logo. So right now, obviously we don't have a ton of leagues, but this is what we've started with. And let's say we hit hockey. So Jacob, you want to hit hockey?
I've hit hockey.
So this is our list of teams here. Obviously the major NHL teams are there. We're going to go in and actually go ahead and hit Calgary.
All right, Calgary.
So we got Calgary. Very simple. See, the simplicity of this app is amazing because it's not complicated. You just go in there. Now we're going to hit follow Calgary because that's our favorite team.
Calgary, Rana.
We're following Calgary. Now, too bad they're not playing, but imagine if they were playing right now.
I think they are. I think they just scored.
Oh, they just scored. Okay, what's going to happen right now is we got to push. That's a live demo right there. So you can hear the song. So that's basically what you hear at the stadium. Now, like I said before, sports fans are crazy. If you saw ACC yesterday, there was like 20,000 fans out there. And when their team scored, the whole place went nuts. We're trying to capture that moment and bring it out to the individual sports fan who can't make it to the game for whatever reason. Sometimes life just gets at you and you can't watch every single game. So that's what we're trying to deliver to our fans. And I hope this resonates with everyone. And if you guys like what you just heard, definitely visit our website. Now, this is just a quick feedback screen that we have in our app to allow a two-way interaction with our customers. If they want us to add something, we're definitely open to modifying the application and creating more features for them because ultimately we're nothing without the customer. So that's what we got in there. Hope you guys liked the presentation. That's all we have right now. Thanks.
So what does this have to do with big data, and what kind of analytics can you derive from a live mobile app that provides real-time information to users anywhere they are worldwide? What we're doing is we're taking a live data stream from any sport in the world. We have access to over 280 leagues, which accumulates up to 10,000 different sports teams, and it's worldwide. So whether you're a rugby fan, let's say you're a cricket fan, a hockey fan, a field hockey fan, any sport that you can imagine, even down to darts and other fans of other sports, we can deliver that information to you live and in real time to your device, along with the sound of that team celebrating. So it's not just the goal horn, but it also includes the music and the fans cheering, the crack of a bat, just everything that happens at the sports stadium. We're delivering that to you in real time. Not only can we deliver you the data, but on the other end, we can see who's using that app. So we can see how many people are following each team, when they're checking in, when they're logging into the app. We can see how many people are cheering for each fan in a matchup, which allows us to create real-time statistics on who thinks which team is going to win. We can see how often fans are logging in to check their favorite scores, how long they're spending on the app. We can see all this information in real time, and we can collect it and store it if we need to. Of course, it's all anonymous because we don't ask our users to tell us who they are. So does anybody have any questions about the WeScored app, how it works, some of the things that we can do from it? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, when we describe the app to people and show it to them on the screen, a lot of people describe it similar to the Budweiser siren. With the Budweiser siren, you've got to screw it into your home or wherever you're using it. You've got to set it up. You've got to link it to the mobile app that they have. With the WeScored app, you simply download the app, you pick whatever your favorite team is, and every time they score, your phone goes bananas. So it's like that, except it's everywhere, and it's on every device, on every platform, and it's worldwide, and for every sport, and every team in every sport. Yeah.
What's your design for your revenue stream?
So we offer two different versions of the app. We have a free version, which people can download so they can get an idea of what it's like and how it works. That provides you with one team. And as fans want to add additional teams, we charge $1 per team for additional teams. We also have a paid version, which gives you 3 teams right off the bat. It's $2, and you can add additional teams for $1. Another advantage over the paid versus the free version is that on the paid version, you can deselect teams and reselect new ones. So as the season changes, you can deselect hockey when the season's over, maybe select Major League Baseball. So we make revenue either from the app download, depending on which version they download, as well as how many teams they download. Yeah. So at this point, we're not basing our revenue model off of advertising, so we haven't found that information out. The business itself just started up in February, and it's currently awaiting approval on the App Store. So it's not currently live, so we don't have an idea of how many advertisers are interested. Suppose they could do that, yeah. Yeah. But it's free, so that's fine. If they uninstall the app, they lose all the teams that they'd previously purchased, so there's a disincentive for them to do that. But if you just want to follow one team and then you want to uninstall the app, reinstall it again, and follow a different team because you just want one team at a time, it's totally possible. Yeah. Questions from over here? Yeah, go ahead.
So there's 2 teams obviously playing each other.
Correct.
Hear when your team starts?
That's right. So a lot of the sports apps that do deliver regular notifications with no sound, they'll tell you when the game is on and what the score is if either team scores. Ours tells you when your favorite team scores. Now, if you want to know the score of the other team scoring against your team, you just pick that other team as well. So now you have both teams. So the question is, are we concerned about imitations? Are we worried about other people copying the app? There's a great cost for a live data feed from any sports team. So individual teams from individual sports or individual leagues will charge for that data feed. It's cost prohibitive for, let's say, a smaller startup. If a larger company wanted to copy us, theoretically they could. It's like that with many apps. If it's possible, then they can copy us. One of the things that sets us apart and makes it a little bit more difficult to copy us, what we're doing is we set up all custom algorithms. So we have programs running in the background which takes the data right out of the live stream and pushes it out to the devices. And the technology that we use to do that is, from talking to other developers, very difficult to do. So it's possible that we could get copied, but it's not easy. Good question.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you guys enjoyed, definitely sign up and drop your email into our website, WeScored app, and it'll tremendously help us out with our first download.
So the website is WeScoredApp.com. And if you go to WeScored app, not only can you see similar screenshots to what we're showing you here, you can also sign up to register so that when and if and when Apple approves the app, you'll be able to download it right away. We're sending out a special notice to anybody who's pre-registered. Again, the address is WeScoredApp.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at #WeScoredApp. We put out regular videos of sports moments. You can follow us on Facebook at WeScored. Facebook/WeScored. Yeah, any other questions? I'm going to bring it back to Lloyd Lobo. Earlier, Lloyd Lobo called me a legend, but what you don't know is Lloyd Lobo is a legend in himself. We met and he introduced me to the startup scene, and I'd love to reintroduce you to Lloyd Lobo from Bose Capital.
So hope you enjoyed that. There was another team that couldn't make it here, and it was called Parlay. And they built an employee recognition platform in those 3 days. They presented last month to the head of CTO of Salesforce, BlackBerry, Dell, and HP at an event we did in Banff called the Canadian Cloud Showdown, and they were offered $25,000 on stage. They refused to take it because they got acquired. So this is a company built over 3 days that gets acquired. So that's the power of Startup Weekend. I want you guys to check out Calgary.startupweekend.org, Calgary.startupweekend.org, and that's July 12th to 14th. We have 3 venture capitalists from the U.S., and prizes are $25,000 for top place and second place. Thank you, guys.
Join the conversation next year as more cities become data-driven. Become a community partner. Contact us at info@abctech.ca.